didn't know what was going to happen or how this was even going to take place. So it was definitely a turning point in my life.
See in the lane, out to Chalmers, good ball movement. There's Bosh for three. Yes, sir, Chris Bosh.
He's arguably our most important player. We've said that now for 4 years, and it's not just because of that shot.
Turns the corner, same play. Bosh for three in the win. Yes, yes, he did.
Chris Bosh is one of those rare players whose career arc is as compelling off the court as it was on. His name may not ring out in every corner of the basketball world, like LeBron James or Kobe Bryant, but if you know, you know. Let's dig into the life, the career, and the legacy of this NBA Hall of Famer. Chris Bosh was born on March 24, 1984 in Dallas, Texas. Growing up in a family that valued both education and athletics, Bosh was taught early that success wasn't just given, it had to be earned. His family had a strong influence on Chris, instilling a sense of discipline that would come to define him both on and off the court. Bosh attended Lincoln High School in Dallas, where he quickly became a local sensation. Towering over his classmates at 6'11" with a 7'3" wingspan, Bosh was nearly unstoppable on the court. His dominance led Lincoln High School to a perfect 40-0 record and a state championship in his senior year.
Chris Bosh is a national top 50 prospect and one of the top 10 big men in this year's senior class.
Many college recruiters were knocking down his door, but Bosh, ever thoughtful and deliberate, chose Georgia Tech, a decision that would set the stage for his NBA future. At Georgia Tech, Bosh made an immediate impact. As a freshman, he averaged 15.6 points, 9 rebounds, and 2.2 blocks per game, showing the world he wasn't just tall, he was skilled. Bosh's ability to handle the ball, shoot from mid-range, and dominate inside the paint set him apart from other big men of his time. He was mobile, versatile, and unselfish, playing with a maturity that was beyond his years. But after just one season, Bosh declared for the 2003 NBA Draft.
The Toronto Raptors select Chris Bosh from Georgia Tech University.
The 2003 NBA Draft is one of the most legendary drafts in NBA history, featuring future Hall of Famers like LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Carmelo Anthony. While Bosh didn't enter with the same fanfare as LeBron, he was selected 4th overall by the Toronto Raptors.
With the 4th pick in the 2003 NBA Draft, the Toronto Raptors select Chris Bosh from Georgia Tech University.
A franchise that was still trying to find its identity. Bosh arrived in Toronto at a time when the Raptors were struggling.
A 6'10" forward, number 4, Chris Bosh.
The fans wanted someone to be excited about, and Bosh gave them exactly what they needed.
He's going to be charged.
Late call by Derek Stafford.
Threatened to go back home to play. Bosh strong out of the timeout. Chris Bosh on the edge.
O.J. Mayo ain't Chris Bosh.
Put him on the grill. Bosh.
Vince Carter was on his way out, and the team needed someone to fill that void. Enter Bosh, who quickly became the face of the franchise. He wasn't flashy or outspoken like Carter, but he was efficient, humble, and hardworking.
Attacking, gets bombed, and finishes.
You know what? When it's all said and done, sometimes
Bosh's game evolved quickly in Toronto. He was soon known for his versatility because he could shoot,
things that don't matter like points, they give back to rebounding and blocking shots, because when you did that, we were winning.
pass,
I like the fact that he's pitching it ahead a little bit more and going inside.
Here's a three, wide open, bang.
Why? Because it gets that. Pitch it ahead, punch it into the
dribble,
Chris squares up. Bosh puts it on the floor. Double comes late. Chris Bosh and the Raptors by 1.
and block shots.
Trying to make a move on Bosh. Goes in, denied! Oh, the beast! Bosh! What a denial! Turkaloo!
But here is one of the most important parts of his legacy.
Here's Bosh. Bosh wants it! And he got it! Are you kidding me? Chris Bosh
While most traditional big men were still banging in the post, Bosh was stepping out for mid-range jumpers,
I think they're going to run a second defender at him. Bosh.
spacing the floor,
Here's forward. Chris Bosh up big. Bosh the foul from the short corner.
and even putting the ball on the floor like a guard.
Close pass, dunk. Oh, with the dunk! Oh, my goodness, that was so dirty. Bosh with 35, matching this season.
Because of this, Chris became the gold standard for the modern NBA power forward. He was a big man who could stretch the floor and switch on defense. A Swiss Army knife on the court, he could do it all and was a huge asset for the Raptors. In his 7 seasons in Toronto, Bosh was a 5-time NBA All-Star and became the franchise's all-time leading scorer. However, despite his success, the Raptors struggled to build a championship contender around him. This left Chris wondering about his future and what path he should take. Stay in Toronto and play for a team that might not ever break through, or try his luck somewhere else. By 2010, Bosh had made up his mind.
You know, on one side I was super happy, but on the other side I didn't know what was going to happen or how this was even going to take place. So it was definitely a turning point in my life.
He wanted to win, and he needed a change of scenery to make that happen. In 2010, one of the most seismic events in NBA history occurred. LeBron James announced his decision to take his talents to South Beach, joining forces with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh to form the Miami Heat's Big Three.
Ron, what's your decision?
In this fall, man, this is very tough. In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat.
Bosh is sometimes the forgotten member of that trio, but he played an essential role in what was about to become an unstoppable and unparalleled basketball dynasty. While LeBron and Wade were the superstars, Bosh was the glue that held everything together. During his time in Miami, he actually changed his game to help the team and took fewer shots, focusing more on defense and rebounding to make the team work. As you can imagine, it was a difficult adjustment at first because that's not how he played when he was in Toronto. But Chris embraced this new role. His ability to stretch the floor allowed LeBron and Wade to dominate inside.
He has Arroyo in front and follows on a bounce to James.
If you miss and don't come up with...
And his defensive versatility was critical to the Heat's switch-heavy system. In the 2011-2012 season, the Heat won their first championship together, defeating the Oklahoma City Thunder in 5 games. Sure enough, Bosh played a pivotal role in the success of this championship, especially in Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals against the Boston Celtics, where he hit clutch three-pointers to seal the victory. He had fully embraced his new role and was thriving in it.
James on the drive. Bosh hits a three. Chris Bosh again. Bosh with his 3rd three-pointer of the game.
In the next season, the Heat were even better. They went on a 27-game winning streak, the 2nd longest in NBA history, and captured their 2nd straight title by defeating the San Antonio Spurs in a thrilling 7-game series. Bosh's performance in Game 6, especially a clutch block on Danny Green, is still one of the most underrated moments in NBA Finals history.
Trying to get free. Cross-court pass to Green. Green blocked by Bosh. Game over. There'll be a Game 7. Chris Bosh with some extraordinary plays at both ends of the floor at the end of regulation and overtime.
Well, great screen by Splitter.
Bosh was now a 2-time champion, but more importantly, he had reinvented himself. His sacrifices have paid off, and his place in NBA history was secure. Just as Bosh's career seemed destined for even greater heights, tragedy struck. In 2015, after signing a massive contract extension with the Heat, Bosh was diagnosed with blood clots in his lungs, a condition that can be life-threatening if not treated properly. Because of that, he missed the remainder of the season, but was determined to make a comeback. He returned for the 2015-2016 season, playing at a high level once again. The blood clots returned during the All-Star break. This time, the situation was even more serious, and the doctors advised him to retire.
Despite recent health struggles, Chris Bosh has had his mind set to return to the court, but it may not be possible. Bosh has failed his physical, meaning the Miami Heat will not clear him for training camp next week, and the future of his playing career in the NBA is in serious doubt.
Bosh didn't want to give up. He sought 2nd and 3rd opinions, hoping to find a way to continue his career. But it was clear his playing days were over. In 2017, the Miami Heat announced that Bosh would not return, effectively ending his career at the age of 32. It was a heartbreaking end for a player who still had so much to give, but Bosh handled it with grace and dignity. He never publicly complained or sought pity. Instead, he focused on his health and his family. While Bosh's career ended well before it was supposed to, his impact on the game continues to be felt to this day. He was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame in 2021, which was a fitting tribute to a player who changed the way big men played the game.
Thanking these two gentlemen up here for presenting me this evening. Basketball wasn't what I did, it was who I was. Legends aren't defined by their successes. They're defined by how they bounce back from their failures. And they're the reason that that little kid is standing in front of his heroes.
Bosh was ahead of his time, and his versatility and approach to playing paved the way for players like Anthony Davis of the Los Angeles Lakers and Karl Anthony Towns of the Minnesota Timberwolves. But perhaps Bosh's greatest legacy is the way he handled adversity. He could have been bitter about the way his career ended, but instead, he chose to focus on the positives. He won 2 championships, became a Hall of Famer, and left an untouchable mark on the game. His story is one of quiet but strong resilience. He wasn't a player who was always in the spotlight, but he was essential, providing steady performances that held the team together when it mattered most. In the end, Chris Bosh's career wasn't just about basketball. It was about sacrifice, reinvention, and the pursuit of greatness. His legacy stands tall all these years later. Thank you for joining us as we remember the legacy of Chris Bosh. Put in the comments below one of your favorite Chris Bosh memories. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so you can get more content just like this. In the meantime, don't forget to create a legacy of your own. Until then, we'll see you next time.